It's Shea, and you're listening to Bible, Babes, and Banter.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Emmanuel. You're on the big end of the South Side. You're listening to Bible, Babes, and Banter.
Oh, go ye, That one.
Yiggy.
Oh my goodness.
That one is
Yeah, that one slaps still. Different.
My share, Jericho.
Hey, listen.
It's sweet still. I want
Yeah,
that.
it's very sweet.
It's sweet.
Listen.
There's better songs like that still.
There's certain songs here that they only hit proper in Yoruba, man. I
Yeah,
can't lie
of
to you.
course.
Yeah.
They only hit proper in Yoruba,
course.
bruv. But then obviously for someone that's not
Yoruba,
Nigerian
yeah.
or Yoruba,
Yeah, native. But there's that, there's a couple that Ghanaian and what's my?
There's that,
Aye.
But you know with that one, yeah, I only like it when it's sang slow.
Yeah.
So they did it at New Year's and it was bare fast. I'm thinking, what's this for? I like it when it's like mad and slow.
Yeah. It's sick still.
Definitely.
I used to like Bayeti.
Bayeti, cozy, Bayeti, King of Kings.
Alright, listen, we're not here to do quiet.
You know, it's so funny as well, yeah, because there's a bit of that song, yeah. I was wondering if you actually do it.
Bayeti, cozy, Bayeti, cozy, King of Kings.
Bayeti what?
Bayeti, cozy. I think that's what it is. So.
Okay, fair.
What's that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
One of them uncles come out and serenade you, man. That's some deep voice, bro.
You know what I find funny about these songs, yeah? And like church songs in general, like how they travel from church to church to church to church.
Bro.
So before, like, obviously, like social media and like internet and all that sort of stuff, there's certain songs, say for example, like something like, eh, shit, blah, blah. Who wrote that?
Yeah, it's true.
No, but
Where
the
did
maddest
that
thing,
stop?
no. But those songs have been around from when our parents were young. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So then they've carried it up in their groups and then brought it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, it's true.
Fair,
and obviously now, because of YouTube, is that once the song goes live, aunties will send it to each other on WhatsApp. That's it.
You know, I've never
once the
thought
choir
about that
leader
actually,
catches
you know.
it.
So they've heard it
Yeah, and they've
in
brought it.
Nigeria and they've brought it here basically. I've never heard it. I've never thought.
That's
about
why some of them, so, I can't lie. There's been a couple of times where I've heard like these like Yoruba songs, and like I see like all of the aunties singing their hearts out, all of them smiling.
They all know it, innit? It's mad.
very nostalgic for them and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, yo, like I've never heard this before, bro.
mad.
Yeah, no, for real. It's true. I think that's why it's important to grow up in church, I think, though. I feel, because, you know, like, I was talking to one of my brethren who, they're not really, they believe in God, they're Christian, but with church, they're a bit 50-50 in terms of going to church, innit? Because I feel what happened was that they were church hopping for a while, trying to find a church to go to, which is very common nowadays. But then they just kind of like, it's too long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So then they kind of stopped going. And I was just like, fam, you got to get in that habit of just finding the church and going. Because when you have kids, I think it's so key for them to just go to stuff like Sunday school.
Yeah,
to just
it
be
is
in
so.
that
Routine.
being that routine. Obviously for you as well, it's very important.
yeah, exactly.
And not to abandon the fellowship. Do you get me? But
Yeah.
just fam, when you're having kids, fam, so important, fam, Sunday school.
No,
Do you know how
proper.
key that was?
I
Just
know.
to learn certain things. Certain things that you don't even kind of remember that you learned, but it's just in your head.
Even stuff like Psalm 23 or like the grace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just like just so that you know it's good.
It is one of those things. Just like even if you don't grow up in Sunday school or church, you can still learn those things. I just guess it's just a bit easier if you've got
Yeah,
that
it's
head
easier
start,
on the
innit?
go. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Sick though, because I remember I was with when Ore we were in church one time, and she was singing, and I was like, it's mad because like you're just singing all the songs, you're not looking up, you're not looking at the words, you're just singing bare. It's funny that you've just learned it because you've been in church. Do you
Yeah,
get me?
100%.
Yeah, man. It's important to keep up that tradition still. I think with our gen as well, it's like I think everyone's kind of clocking that. I don't know. A lot of people are brought up in their mum and dad's church, or their family church, and a lot of them are clocking now that they want a bit more.
It's
Do you
not
know what I
really
mean?
for them,
Because that's
They
the
want
thing. I
something
feel
for
like
them.
our parents have done that. They've done that whole due diligence process in terms of
stayed
what
where
church
they
is
are.
right for them, and that's how we've met, because that's where they've ended up.
Yeah.
But then now it's time for us to do that same due diligence process. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So
Which is crazy because I know a lot of people who are like so trying to find churches now. Do you get me? And they're going from church to church to church. Like, and it's difficult still.
Especially when you've actually been in one church for your whole life and you've established a certain routine, you're used to certain things. And you go somewhere else and it's like, what? They do offering before they do this. Like, you know what I mean? They're used to certain
Bruv,
things.
and that's what I'm trying to say, because
still.
fam, do you know what it is with me? Yeah, like I'm very like people always say to me like, "Raw, like I'm very opposed to change. Like I don't really like a lot of change or whatever." And I think that's wrong, but a certain element of it is true because listen, if I go somewhere, yeah, and they do something like I come in and they asking for the offering as I'm entering the door. That's a red flag. I'm turning around and I'm going home. Literally. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And you know, like the other day I was talking about red flags and I was like, listen, if I go to another church here and I feel like they're harrying me for cash, bro, red flag. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Bruv, I remember, I tell you a lot about this all the time, yeah, bruv. There was a church that one of my brothers was going to. Like, you would bring in, like your sunglasses, or you'd bring in a bag of rice.
It's not even funny.
Yeah. The pastor will pray over that bag of rice or your sunglasses, and then we'll auction it back to the church because it's like double portion anointing.
That's actually ridiculous.
So there'll be like bags of rice going for a bag. Fam, the way I'll take a knife here, I'll tear the bag for everyone. I'll be like, everyone take, man. Everyone enjoy it, man. Doesn't make sense, fam.
It's actually ridiculous still. Things like that exist like, on a.
But the maddest thing is, the maddest thing is, when you're in that place,
yeah, you don't see
it's
it,
like
man.
you can't see outside of the bubble. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's mad.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
It's actually nuts.
It's crazy still.
It's
But we see that so much now. That being inside somewhere, everyone else is saying, bro, it's so obvious what you're not doing is wrong. But when you're inside, fam,
It's actually mad.
it happens a lot still. It happens a lot. But I guess you have to be very truthful with yourself, innit? Very truthful, which is not easy to do.
Yeah.
So you have to almost self-analyze and look at what's around you and be like, okay, is this thing good? Is this thing bad? Do I need to do it? Should I do it?
Especially when, for example, like when you're used to a certain thing and you're comfortable in a certain place, like you don't want to like, even though you might be aware of certain things, you don't really want to stir the waters like that because it means you're gonna have to now leave, and then you don't know how to kind of like exist outside of being in that place, innit?
No,
that's the thing because you get into your comfort zone and that's it. And the thing is, I feel like with these things, like it never starts off mad. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It always starts off very conservative and like obviously part of it has to be the truth. They have to preach the word of God. And do you get what I'm trying to say? So to a certain extent, it sort of lures you into this fake full sense of security. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then from there, you're finished. Not finished, but
do you know what I mean?
It's long.
Very much so.
It's long still. And I guess just to go back with the people church hopping, one thing I always say to like my brethren who are looking for churches is like, you got to give places time. Do you get me?
You can't go
so
one
you can't
Sunday.
go there one Sunday and be like, fam, you got to just, because you got to remember that, fam, everywhere's going to have something you don't really like, bro. Yeah, you don't really mess with. But as long as this one is not detrimental to like the gospel, or it's not against
perverting the gospel.
it's not perverting the gospel, it's not false. Do you get me? You can afford to give it time. You can afford to let me go for like 4 or 5 Sundays at least before you make a judgment on whether you want to go there, unless you've just gone there and seen something just mad straight away. Like Kenny said, that before you come in they're telling you to tap your cards for contactless for something. Do you get me? But to be fair, contactless in church won't be too bad, for offering, bro. I won't lie.
But then you have to type in the amount, innit?
That's fair enough. That'd be long.
It's a hope still.
There's one church that they have cash point.
It makes sense.
In the corridor.
It actually makes bare sense.
It actually does make sense.
Even for outside of offering, if you just want to get peace.
It's true.
It just makes sense.
It's true. It just makes so much sense.
But that's the thing, That's the thing. Before I got old enough to pay tithes myself, if I saw a cash machine inside the church, I'll walk out of that church.
Yeah, I hear that.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's all context. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But now it makes sense for a certain demographic or older people. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So,
Yeah, definitely.
Even like, just off the back of what you said in terms of being younger and older, like when I was younger, I used to think that church is kind of restrictive, like in the way that I don't know, man. They're restrictive in terms, so someone can't just stand up and start speaking, or if someone has a word, they can't just share it. I used to think, fam, why are you doing that? Because you're kind of stopping the flow. But then when I got older, fam, I clocked how important order is.
Yeah.
That's
how
have you been
been
to one of these proper AF churches, where when they start doing testimonies, the service is supposed to finish at, let's say 12. It's 10 to 12 or 10 to 12:30. The service doesn't finish till like 2 o'clock just because people have begun on and on and
they'll
on
do
and
the
on.
thing where they'll say 2 minutes. They'll stand up and be like, I just want to thank God, but before I thank God,
I want to sing a
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
What? At the end of each sentence, they break into a new song. You know, like, there's that one word that links to that song. They'll start singing that song, bro.
Oh, days.
Yeah, no, they bang it out still. They bang it out.
Yeah.
But it's important, man. So yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna make sure that my children grow up in church and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yes, for at that age, it is like routine and it is learning what they can learn at that age. You get what I'm trying to say? Because again, it just makes it easier in the future for them.
You build a lot of friendships as well in Sunday school. All of our friendships are from Sunday school.
With like-minded people, innit?
Exactly.
Or people with like-minded parents who,
exactly.
as a result, you're gonna be like-minded.
Yeah,
So many memories as well. Memories from Sunday school and that when we was younger.
it's true. Actually, speaking about children and that, so I was listening to something like last year actually, and I sort of one of the questions that came up from what I was listening to was, would you want, as obviously because we're men, so would you want your daughters to date men like you? So would you want your daughters to date men like you?
Let me go around there.
You man, you start.
Absolutely.
Jeez. Confidence.
Are you gonna explain why?
No, you know, because so with that question as well, yeah. So
good and bad. Good and bad.
are we talking about like right now, or are we talking about like as in like let's say for example, so when you're saying your daughter, yeah, your 16-year-old daughter dating somebody, dating a man you're at 16. Is that what you're asking, or what? Because I think that adds a different dynamic. Because I think if we go around now, everyone's gonna say yeah. I'm sorry, that's easy, innit, to say yeah. But like
At 16, though.
At 16, definitely not. Okay, so what age is the manual you'd want your daughter that to?
I think from young, you know, from 16,
Actually,
from
yeah,
16 still.
16 actually, because I was more patterned when I was 16 in terms of church, than I was when I was 21, for example.
Okay, so E-man, start from start from like the point in which you wouldn't, and then the point in which you would.
No, but I think I would throughout, and the reason why I would throughout is because like I wasn't like so when I was young, I was like insecure in that about my looks and that, innit. So I remember there was a time where like I went on MSN, like you know back in the day, like before broadband and that, I was only allowed on MSN for 1 hour in my house, innit, and we used to alternate days. So if it was my sister's day, obviously there's no MSN for that day, innit. So I used to go internet cafe. Cool. So you know like it's literally down the road from my house.
How old are you?
I was like 12, 13.
You know that skit, yeah? You know that skit of Big Tipper? Big Tipper when he's in the internet cafe and he's like to the uncle, he's like, sorry uncle. And he starts grabbing him up. He's like, I saw you Googling Google.
Yes, I used to go on MSN in the internet cafe, innit? And I went to a boys' school, so my interactions with females were very limited, innit? I guess obviously Sunday school there's girls there, but we didn't really chat like that. We just chill with the man, innit? So my interactions were on MSN, innit? So cool, there's this girl that I've been talking to for a while on MSN. I was like, yeah, girls, I was bare haps, innit? I've gone to the internet cafe now and there's a webcam there, innit? And she asked me to put on the webcam, I put on the webcam and she goes, oh yeah, you're fat. Fam. As in like, fam.
Do you know what's mad? Do you know what's mad? There's only a few ways to respond to that. You know what I'm
looked out.
You can either do the.
I looked out. Bro, I deleted it. I can't remember if you could block.
Do you know what's mad? You know, bare people that started doing that thing, where they try to get back at him. He's like, you're ugly yourself. What are you talking about? I only want you to be nice.
I just logged out. And again, you know, like with boys and girls, sometimes when girls say certain things to boys, fam, it hurts differently. It hurts differently. And that, at the time, that knocked me for 6, bro. That knocked me for 6. But so at the time, so that knocked my confidence mad, didn't it? So even up to the point whereby, like, let's say for example, now I was like, hey, I can't lie.
No, it's funny to look back now. You can laugh now, I can imagine, No, you're doing too much laughing, fam. What's that about, man?
He's moving mad.
You're moving a bit.
Insensitive, fam.
No, you told me the story before, but it's just funny every time.
Why are you as well?
But why are you looking at my stomach, bro?
No, you brought it out, bro.
You're dead, bro.
So cool, at the time, obviously that knocked my confidence mad, didn't it? So I remember when I got to about like year 10, year 11, and like girls started liking me, like kind of, innit. No, I had my first like interaction with a female, like physically, innit. Probably like I think it was like year 9, innit. And at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. So I remember again, so it was MSN. I was talking to a girl and saying, yeah, sick, we're gonna do this, whatever. Yeah. And then me and my brethren have gone to Barker now, innit. And she was at the time, she was one of the girls that you kind of like you can do stuff with, innit. And then I went in there first, innit. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was literally silent. I was looking at her kind of like go on.
I never
What's
did
gonna
this
happen?
before, no.
I'm even like that you from in betweeners, bro.
Fam, literally like that. Because again, like female interaction from. I had no idea what I was doing. Innit? So then college comes now, and girls are actually liking me, and I'm actually oh right, like I'm actually alright, innit? Like I'm not actually that bad looking or whatever. But because of that kind of like that knock that I had from when I was younger, yeah, when it came to females, like throughout 16 till now, or whatever, I never actually moved mad at all.
Yeah,
I didn't actually.
And it's
move
funny
mad
because
at all.
so many men could have an opposite story.
See, but
that because a girl done that, they hurt, and now they're moving mad. Do you get me? So that's it's mad.
But my question to that is that just because you weren't moving mad doesn't necessarily mean you'd want your date to date someone that's insecure, for example.
I think so from my interpretation of what that question was, was that they're coming from the angle of, would you want your daughter to date somebody because they're assuming the fact that, right, because I'm a boy, more time I'm going to be out here doing madness with girls, innit? In terms of, so that's one side of it, innit? In terms of like mentality and things like that from when I was younger, I guess it's pretty much like, I'm pretty much the same still. Obviously, as you get older, you learn a lot more things, innit? And like you even have a lot more understanding as to why you behave in certain ways, innit? Say for example, like, I've always been somebody that's just mad, kind of like loving and giving. I've just been like that from when I was young, innit? If I have two and both of you want, I'm gonna try pattern it so that we can all kind of like do something. Do you know what I mean? We can all share it, innit? And I've been like that from when I was younger. Yeah, man. And I've always kind of like, I don't know, like wanted to like take care and all of those sort of things, innit? So I think, I definitely want my daughter to date someone like me. So
that's good still.
See, but my question is just like, obviously I'm not saying you was an insecure person, but you was insecure about that specific thing. Yeah. But you know, like sometimes, what that leads people to doing is like lashing out in other ways. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Or overcompensating in other ways. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So like, that, taking that into consideration, was you doing any of that at that age that would make you feel like actually, would you want your daughter to, do you know what I mean, be involved in that?
I think I was just kind of like, that kind of made me retreat, innit? That made me retreat. And when I was in certain settings, again, like with females and that, I didn't really like know how to like again, like I remember we used to talk to some girls from another school, my brethren's school, innit? Because he went to mid school. And then he used to do like a function every year. And then the girls would come, innit? And like I've been talking to you on MSN, innit? And you're there now. So it's kind of like, obviously, like, we've been talking on MSN. Like, I wouldn't chat to them like that. I think I'd just say hello and then that's it.
But do you think that's more because you weren't confident?
Shy, yeah, that's to do with the confidence. That's what I'm talking about. So it made me retreat as opposed to overcompensating for something.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
I hear that.
Yeah, so I didn't really. Yeah, man, I was alright still.
I hear it still. I hear it. So your answer is yes.
But I feel like it changes when like you, because obviously now you ain't got a daughter. Do you get what I'm saying? When you actually have a daughter and you see her grow and all that kind of stuff, your answer might change a little bit. Because you might feel like actually there's certain imperfections that I wouldn't want that person to have that's with her. Do you get what I'm saying?
Especially things that, because I think what we tend to do is think about how we treated girls, but also just think about yourself. Yeah, so the things about yourself that you would want to improve, so that how, let's say, right now you're not where you would want to be in life. Do you get me? Or and that's because of things that you've, let's say you were too laid back
when you was younger,
or you were too lazy, or you didn't do that, or you don't work hard enough, or do you know what I mean? All these other things that's like, these are also things that
that's
that
true
means
still.
that the boy
remember I
would
said
inherit.
that I'm thinking my interpretation of the question was more so from the other side of things, innit?
Yeah.
But now you bring that up, I think I still would say innit? I still would say but there is some things. Exactly. There is definitely some things that I think that when I was younger I should have patterned better.
Yeah.
Definitely. In terms of like some money and stuff like that, definitely. I even think from very young, so I never didn't really have money, if you get me, because I used to sell in school, innit?
Yeah.
So I used to be able to buy what I wanted. So if I wanted to get a jacket, and my thing was jackets, I used to buy bare jackets. If I wanted a jacket, £40 jacket. Back then, £40 jackets, like, like £40, that's big piece, innit? But I wish I kind of like cultivated certain habits from that age, which would definitely it would have helped in terms of like me now and like me as an older teenager and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think those things would have been like those are things that I would have wanted to improve on my younger self.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would have impacted me having a girlfriend or anything like that at the time. But I think those are attributes that probably should have been better, or definitely should have been better. But it wouldn't be enough for me to say no. I don't want.
I hear it.
I don't want to be with him.
It's fair enough still. And Hendy, what about you? Would you want your
the thing is, I feel like I'm very similar to E-Man in that sense, in terms of like I've always, from a young age, I've always been very like giving, very generous and all that kind of stuff, innit? Do you know what I mean? and I'll go without to give someone else. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So in that sense, in terms of how I used to love or like how I used to show love, it used to be I used to try and put my all in it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So in that sense, if I'm looking for someone that's gonna love her and love her properly and give their all, then yeah, like when I was around 16, and especially because I had like I was trying to do like loads of things when I was 16. Like I was passionate about Christ at that point in time, innit? Do you know what I mean? I feel like after college into uni, and like let's say like a year after uni, I would tell her to stay well clear, to be honest. 'Cause I just feel like at that point in time, what my mentor was doing was like I was just focused on the wrong things. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I was literally just focused on getting money and doing other stuff. It's mad, but cases were being caught like every other week and these things. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it just wasn't making sense.
Yeah.
So just stay well clear. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then after that, now I would tell her this is the kind of guy you should go for. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So not even would you be happy, I'll be like, nah. This is the guy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Do you know why? Because I feel like now, so much so, yeah, they obviously don't get it twisted. No one is perfect. Do you get what I'm saying? And I know even now I've got my imperfections, and I know, like we spoke about previously, I spoke about my patience. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's obviously something that can be a red flag or something that you should like be well aware of, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there's that element to it. But other than that, in terms of like like this guy's gonna put his all in. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna try and give you everything that he feels like you need or you want. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And in terms of having a heart for Christ, this guy wants to go to heaven. He wants his family to go to heaven. Do you know what I mean? And he wants to put everyone in the best position in order to do that. Do you know, in order to achieve that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And do you know what I mean? He's not doing too bad for himself.
Yeah.
Jeez. I heard that still. So that's in, okay, so you've kind of like said younger, at the 16 age, then college to uni now, and then right now, basically. Fair enough.
Your thing has to be like, no, all the way through until like, maybe like 4 years ago. You've been moving mad. You've been moving mad from
out
long.
in these streets,
fam. Out in these streets, fam.
Go on.
Are you not done? Are you not done?
Yeah, you know. Go on.
You
Anyway, so I think when I was younger, like secondary school times, I think I had a girlfriend from that year. So I had like, fam, it don't even count now. To be fair, but like,
Did you love her?
Yeah, too young for that, then, man. You don't know what love is. You're too young for that.
So you really liked
her? I liked her a lot.
Okay.
For the time.
You think you loved her at the time?
Probably.
Did you tell her you loved her at the time?
Yeah, probably.
But you didn't love her, you liked her.
Fam,
So you're dishonest. So you're dishonest.
This is all.
I stay
This is
well
all upon
clear
reflection.
from this you.
This is all upon reflection. This is all upon reflection. All right.
My daughter brought you home, but I'll put you in the headlock.
So you wouldn't. Anyway,
I would.
I'll punch you.
Remember, I bought a safe for the strap, so I'll be moving like bad. I'll be moving like bad boys.
Anyway, so when I was younger, it's like going off that the way I treated girls that I was talking to, I treated them well. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like, and it's so weird, just like a side note, how from young, like that whole men have to provide element is in you. Yeah. From young. Yeah, do you get me? So it's a thing whereby like I would pay, let's go out, like I'll pay for everything. Or like even if we're in a group setting. So let's say like it's a friend's dinner and there's bare of us, but I'm still gonna pay for her and I'm paying for me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like I would definitely like I love taking care, like you lot said that's something that's ingrained in me, and probably from seeing my dad do it. You get me? Yeah. Seeing my dad do it, I'm like, this is something that I want to do. So caring, definitely trying to take care. But I feel like I would probably say no to my younger self, that I wouldn't want you to go out with my younger self. One, because you're still finding yourself. Do you know what I mean? And with me, it's like when I was like transitioning to be like in Christianity, like contrary to popular belief, bare people are like, one day is, or for some people maybe that's their story, innit? Like one day they're like, I'm a Christian now, and then that was it. Like all things were gone. Whereas with me, it's like Huh?
It was a gradual
It
change.
was gradual because I'm saying I'm a Christian, but I'm very much still in things. Like, do you get me? I'm very much still involved in certain things that I shouldn't necessarily be involved in. That I'm coming out of. Do you get me? So it's a process at that time. So probably,
Just on that, yeah. Do you know what's mad? You know, like I was speaking to my mum about this other day as well. Actually, I was like, "Raw, you know, like it's mad that a lot of the time, yeah, where people mess themselves up in the future is situations like that.
Yeah.
So you know, like the whole Constantine thing, where he's like, cool, no more persecuting Christians, they can live with us. But then in that way, like Mithraism and all of these old religions started getting intertwined with Christianity or Catholicism back then anyway, sort of thing. Yeah, like it's always when you're making a gradual move away from one regime to another, and you start merging different lifestyles, that your lifestyle then gets messed up in the future. If that makes sense. But yeah, just a random thought.
But yeah, so at that time I was saying no, just because I'm still proper finding myself in it, and I don't feel like when you're trying to find yourself in your life, that's the time to bring anyone else into your life.
In your mess, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Into your mess, exactly. So yeah, I think for my younger self I wouldn't. For my older self, again, that there's things that I still want to change about myself. There's things that I still need to sharpen up. Things that still need to be taken away. But in general mindset, in general heart, and in general intent, which I think is very important, I would say, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But in practice, no.
No, I think in practice, because these things manifest into actions, innit?
Yeah.
So I would say, I still say, yeah. In my older self, do you get me? But that's through a lot of learning. That's through a lot of mistakes. That's through a lot of hardships. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll say yeah in the older. Yeah, in the older, because fam. Do you know, I remember there was one guy speaking, yeah, and he was like, how his daughter told him, like, yeah, Dad, I definitely want to marry a man like you. Do you know what I mean? That's so, fam, if your daughter said that to you, you will just feel like you've just accomplished what you need to do in life. Yeah. You will just feel like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I've done what I need to do. Do you get me?
You know why that's so important as well, yeah? Because you need to set a standard of what she should be able to accept and stuff like that. So say, for example, like you said that you've seen your dad provide and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's now made you provide, innit? So for being there, like, as a father to a daughter, innit, you need to be able to set a standard as to what she should and she shouldn't accept, innit?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the problem with, like, a lot of girls don't accept what they should accept, innit? So they have their standards, but they never stick to their standards, innit? And I don't know what's happened in their family home or whatever impact their dad has had on them, innit? But in me, like, having that view now, I know that it's so important that when I have a daughter, if I have a daughter, that I need to instill in her, like, what you should and should not accept from men.
But you say that, but guys
relationship.
have standards too, though, because I've got standards, and like, for example, you've got standards and Cher's got standards, so, but we don't always stick to those standards as well.
But I mean in terms of, like,
but there's an element of pick your poison. With anyone that you go with, they're not going to be the perfect. They're not going to tick every single box.
They're not going to be perfect. But I'm talking about, like, so I'd compromise certain things, yeah, but I wouldn't settle certain things. So if there's something that I know that is like a no, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to go there. And I can't say the same for a lot of girls that I know, innit? So they know, for example, like,
so they need to have boundaries, basically. They need to be like, right, boom, this is what I want, and I'm not settling for any less than these prerequisites.
And I think as a father, yeah, if you kind of like set those things from young, innit? If you kind of like instill that in her from young, hopefully the aim is that she would kind of like, go along that same path.
I feel like you've also got to instill what they should be like as well, though. What they should be giving to the other person as well.
100%.
But I think that's a massive part of it as well, because even when I'm thinking about, would I want my daughter to go out with someone like me or be with someone like me, it's like it would have to be a thing where I'm teaching her how to be, and the way that I'll be teaching her how to be would be so she could coexist or be with someone like me and it would work. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I'd have to be giving her those gems. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
It's one of the things, parenting is like one of the hardest things that you could do, innit? Because you can't actually teach, innit? You can't teach it. You kind of like have to, like, you can go off of your experience of what you've experienced as a child, innit?
Yeah.
And then you can kind of like, you're kind of, as you go along, you're kind of figuring things out.
I think it's just about principles. I think obviously like our major principles are going to come from the Bible. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Other things that are smaller and stuff like that, you can only just guide them in it and give them like what to do and all the rest of it. But like, just like all of our parents say now, just like all of the older people say now, they say, listen, as much as you can tell your kids not to do this, not to do that, at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do.
What they want to do.
But it does help. So it's not a thing where it's just like, because I think about myself here, in terms when I've done like some of the worst stuff that I've done or the darkest things that I've done, yeah, it's like, what's brought me back or what stopped me from going any further is
What you've been taught.
stuff that I've been taught
innit?
in church by my mum. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And all the rest of it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Definitely,
So
So again, just going off the back of what we're saying, are you not gonna? And I don't want to say like, have you done a girl dirty before? But like, I guess everyone does stuff they're not proud with, innit? Or they're not proud
They
to
wish
shout
they would've
about.
done
They're not,
differently.
they're not proud about. Are you gonna tell your daughter about these things? I'm gonna get to son. I'm not excluding sons from this, innit? But in terms of your daughter, are you gonna tell your daughter about your escapades with certain girls or what's happened or like how you've made a mistake with them, etc.?
I just have to be very careful in how you do it, man.
Why?
Because you can say something to your daughter and she can end up resenting men in general.
Fair enough.
Do you get what I'm saying? Or you can say something to your daughter and she can end up thinking, all right, cool, that's acceptable then because you've done it. Do you know what I mean? Which is not necessarily the right way to think, but it's so tough, bruv. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I think the sort of relationship that I want to have with my children is like a relationship of transparency, innit? But again, it's like, when would you like? Why would you have that? How would that conversation come about?
guess
Like, why would you? Like, do you get what I mean?
I guess it's like,
It has to be
they're
wisdom,
young,
innit?
like, you know, you'll know that they're talking to boys, like, or they're starting to talk to boys. You get me? So it's just that general, like, as in you're not telling a story of thrill. Do you get me? It's more so like a lesson of to learn from. I guess that's how you would be. I'm just assuming anyway that that's how you would be.
Well, say for example,
saying
like
it.
if somebody was onto her and somebody was like talking to her, and she, again, the sort of relationship I want to have is like, fam, if someone's moving to her, she'd be like, yo, dad, so and so's whatever in it. I could be like, okay, cool. When I was younger, and this sort of thing was happening with me, I was moving like this. It didn't necessarily mean this. If that makes sense.
But
I did this, and it resulted in this.
In them situations though, you need to find out what's going on first though.
What do you mean?
As in, like, for example, if she says, oh yeah, this guy's interested, he's bought me flowers or whatever. Like, all right, cool, what's he like? Do you get what I'm trying to say? You can't go straight into that.
I want flowers and I wanted to be.
Fam, do you know what I mean? Because, fam, like, you're
Not like that.
and that's the maddest thing. And I think one of the biggest things that we're learning now in these days of hypersensitivity and all the rest of it, is that you got to get to know your children. You got to get to know your family members. Do you know what I mean? Like, you
so
can't.
important, man.
It's not a one size fits all thing. And you can't talk to them in the same way you talk to your other child and all the rest of it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, everyone is different, and you have to address them accordingly. Do you get what
And
I'm
again, it
saying?
will be catered to like how she is as well, innit? Because obviously, like,
exactly.
let's say you're having this conversation when she's now 20. So she has a certain level of understanding as to like who she is and stuff like that. She has certain standards and whatever. So then the way you communicate with her will be different. So and obviously, and it will be catered to her personality and things like that, innit? But like I would say that the sort of relationship I want to have with my children is a relationship that is transparent, innit? Pretty much, that we can talk about anything if we kind of need to, innit? So
if you think about it, certain things, do you actually want your daughter to talk to you about?
that's what I said. If we need to, certain
What do you mean if you need to? If she's trying to be transparent with you, bruv, she's gonna come back and tell you that.
I mean, like, so if something comes up, if something comes up, we'll talk about it.
Fam,
So,
I swear, if conversation starts going left, I'll just be honest. I don't
That's
care
right,
if anyone
just
says
call
I'm
your mum.
insecure. I'll be like, yes, literally. Speak to
certain,
my mum.
certain things we don't know about, we won't be able to empathize.
You're listening to Bible Babes and Banter.
Cool. So what's your lot's approach to Christian dating? And like I hate the term Christian dating. Like I hate it. Do you get me? But
Why'd you hate it?
This makes it bare neaky.
because it makes it so sneaky, bro. What do you mean Christian dating? Like, there's no Christian dating 101, bro. You get me?
I feel like people say it so you understand what they're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, okay. And what I'm asking is more so dating as a Christian. Do you get me? So that dating as a Christian change your approach to dating. And I'm looking at E-Man, and then I asked Andy. What are you about to say? I saw your eyes light up. What are you about to say? what are you about to say?
He's pointing at me, bare, innit? That pointing is rude, innit?
Shut up.
Bang it.
Yeah, you just have to be a lot more intentional, innit? And like transparent with obviously like what your intentions are and whether or not like that.
Man, what
I
does
think
that
in the
look
long
like,
run,
man?
I was literally
It's bare words.
just about to say, innit? As in like, as a non-Christian dating, you should do that as well, innit? As in there shouldn't really be any blurred lines. So as a Christian, like your intention to dating would be like to marry, innit? But obviously before you get who you want to.
Do you think that's the only intention of dating? Just so that if you're not looking to marry, you shouldn't date.
But you're trying to find out who. The process of you finding out who it is that you're onto like that, you would be dating, innit? So yeah, you should date, innit?
So
But, like,
if
with
you're not looking to marry, you shouldn't date.
That's the Christian perspective. Still, you should like if you're out here looking for girls and that at this age, innit? You'd be looking for your.
I don't know why he's
wife,
asking
innit?
it like it's a trick question, bro. If you're not looking to get married, no, you shouldn't date. Fam. You shouldn't. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What else are you doing? What, are you just trying to be out here?
Literally, that's what you'd be doing other than that, innit? Or what's the other side
That's
to
of
it?
a song. What song ends with out here?
I'm out here. Ding dong out there. Surprise them when I'm riding. 9 things, no knife things.
Is that actually a song?
Still. I thought it was freestyling still.
That's what I thought you were freestyling.
I wish I was freestyling.
Anyway.
Belly, boss belly.
But yeah,
Wave that belly.
Oh,
But
shit.
he's actually bare jokes, sir. Boss
Got my young G's on the block again. Straps coming in and we're copying them.
Alright, he's actually bare jokes.
Yeah, he came out at the wrong time, man.
Yeah, no,
He's
for real.
old school though. He's
Roger
like
was saying that
first
the
in
other
uni.
day, bruv. If he come out now, they've been obviously it was
Yeah.
still wavy back then, but
If he
it would have
I
been
know
a
what you
different
mean.
kind of vibe right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so carry on, man.
Yeah, you should just be transparent innit? And just say what your intentions are in it. If you've identified somebody who you feel as if you want to get to know, just let them know, raw. You know what? At this moment in time, I don't know whether or not like it's fully gonna be that, like whether or not we're gonna get to that stage whereby it's me and you like getting to marry. But yeah, I just want to get to know you, innit? And whether or not you say that or not, I think you'll probably look like the bad guy anyway, whether or not you tell the girl that or not. And to be honest as well, so say for example, if you're doing that with more than one girl, if there's like 2 girls that you're talking to like that, so let them both know, innit?
But so you think it's alright to that basically date more than
Yeah,
one?
yeah. But then it gets to a point whereby like there's a certain level of intensity in it, and it gets to a point as a guy when you know like, okay, cool, like what am I really on in it? Do I actually want to pursue this girl like that?
So you should cut one off.
Once you establish that, cut one off, innit? But it's mad because again, like you could be doing that for how long? Do you get what I mean? But yeah, once you've established that, cut it off, cut like that tie off, innit?
Yeah. DJ Esther. You are now listening
But
to
yeah,
Esther.
just be honest and just be transparent. Literally, that's
See,
that's
I
what
don't think you should do more than one person at once.
You don't?
Because I feel like what happens is when you're
So are you saying that you don't think it's right, or you just don't think you should? As in,
it's a bit of both, man. Because I feel like the reason why I don't think you should is because I don't think it's right to. So I think, and the reason why I don't think it's right to is because I feel like you get distracted, man. You know, like if you're chatting to one babe and you're chatting to another, like they have similarities but they have differences, and those differences is what's gonna mess up your mind about both. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I think not everybody can do it though.
Yeah,
I think not
exactly.
everybody can do it.
Yeah, no
but
one can do it still.
I think there's people have the ability to kind of
Compartmentalize.
Yeah, departmentalize in it. But if you can't do it, then definitely don't do it in it. But if you can, then
yeah.
I guess
And you just got to
and
make
don't
sure
be-
that you everything has to be very JJ, bro. Like
Yeah, that's
I
what
just don't think you
over the
should, man. I feel like in the whole respect thing and all that kind of stuff and all the rest of it, I feel like, do you know what? Because I feel like, right, if you're actually dating with the intention to marry her, then be intentional about the person you're speaking to. If it doesn't work out with that person, it doesn't work out with that person. And then if the other person is the right person, they will be there when it's time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You don't need to. You shouldn't have the mindset. Oh, I'm gonna miss out if I don't speak to both of them at the same time. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but I don't-
It should be a case of if this is what God has got planned for me, then this person is still gonna be there at the time that.
kind of, man. Kind of. I hear what you mean,
I get
but
it,
kind of. I don't really agree though. Like, I feel like because more time it doesn't actually work out that you. And I can't speak for every guy, of course, innit? But more time, the way I believe it happens is that you don't seek out, oh, let me chat to this girl first. Now let me find another girl to chat to. It's more so
Yeah.
that
It's opportunity, innit?
circumstances
Yeah,
happen.
kinda happen.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
do you get me? You've started speaking. Do
Yeah.
you get me? Especially
but-
if it's very much like at the initial stages.
But now you're just making it seem like everything happens to you. You're not in control of anything.
No. Because you're in control
you can
of
dial
moving
it
to the
back.
girl. Of course you can. You're in control of
But
making
then
the initial move.
You
Do
don't
get me?
feel as if you don't feel as if you necessarily need to, because your alliances don't really lie anywhere like that. Because you, again, when it's the initial sort of like it's nothing basically. You're just cool. It's like, why wouldn't I chat to? Well, you're just trying to establish a friendship. You're not even friends yet.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
But
that's
That's
also
different. No, that's
depends
different
on
to
your.
dating. Dating. When we're talking about dating, we are talking about the interest has already been declared for you to go on a date with this person.
No, so sorry.
but I
So
don't
let me
think you have
scale
to
it
have-
back. So when I said, so obviously we need to talk about it from the initial inception of where you've met the person. So I'm not skipping like you've met the person and now you want to date. I'm assuming that dating is from when you first meet them. So yeah, I'm not saying that.
So you've met someone, you're like, oh, do you know what? I want to take you out.
Yeah,
Whatever,
that's
I
whatever.
think that's light though.
Yeah, but exactly. I think it's very light.
I
bro.
think
But that's dating,
I think that's light, yeah, if you're doing it with one person. Because think about it this way, yeah. I think everything is subjective. So for example, yeah, if you're talking to a girl and it's like, raw, you've gone to 50% with one girl, but you're still dating around.
50% is high.
So what's a relatively low? What's a relatively low percentage?
Like 15.
Yeah. 15.
So you're 15% with one girl.
15 to 30.
And by the way,
Okay.
I'm only saying it like
I know
that.
it's very funny saying the 50, 30. But when I say 15, yeah, I'm saying 15 as in like, so 15 is that I just know, like, I know what uni you went to, I know what college you went to, I know what you
But
do.
you talk on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not even putting phone in there.
Because as soon as you
It's
start
true,
talking,
50
so
is
for
on
me,
the
yeah,
phone.
so for me, yeah,
50
when you
phones
start
at
talking on the
25.
phone with a girl, yeah, when you first start talking on the phone to a girl, that's when I see it as like, raw. Alright, cool. Just dial back everything else you got going on. Fully see, give this thing its respect in it. Fully see where it's gonna go. If it's not gonna go anywhere, then pattern up fast and cut it off fast.
And do you mean
what I'm saying?
talking on the phone regularly?
Yeah.
Fam, you know that thing, yeah? What's
bare
funny?
annoying, I can't lie.
What's funny? I
It's actually
remember,
bare
yeah,
annoying.
I was chatting to one girl, and this happened to me twice, yeah. That I've been talking to girls, and they've kind of insinuated, like, are you not gonna phone me?
Yeah, we haven't spoken yet.
And I'm thinking, fam, why do I need to phone you? Like, get me, relax.
talking, isn't it?
Do you get me? And that's what happens sometimes, yeah, where girls will scroll things forward so quickly. Do you get me?
Alright, listen, let me just flip the script real quick. If a girl is chatting to you and 3 other guys at the same time, how would you feel?
It depends at what stage.
Yeah, three's a lot though.
Three's a
So
lot.
respect yourself more, bruv. If girls
Is it-
chatting to me and she's chatting to another guy, I don't care if you know that
Yeah,
guy
to be
for
fair,
15 years.
Let me,
Just know.
no, but
Three's
okay,
a lot still.
let me be honest.
But let's say for example, if you saw somebody that you liked, yeah, and then you started like you was moving to whatever, and in you kind of talking to her, she said, "Oh, you know what? She's kind of chatting to someone else." I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I don't care. It's
don't
fair
care.
game, bro. I don't care.
Like she's not like.
Nah.
So
I wouldn't care still.
So you only
would.
so Henry. So in the past you only spoke to girls who
Were just on you.
who weren't speaking to anybody else and was just on and like yeah, they were just by themselves.
Basically. And if they were speaking to anyone else, I wouldn't have known about it. So
Fair enough.
because any conversation we had, they would not allude to that at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
any
no,
conversation
that's
we had
true.
about that
Yeah,
specific.
fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
There probably was some that they just didn't say, and
And
not,
I think that's what girls would say
Yeah.
as well, because in having conversation with girls about this sort of topic, they're always like, there's no way they're just talking to one you.
yeah.
I think at times, yeah, I would assume that they could be talking to more than one. But I just feel like the way that I used to date back then, yeah, was like I thought like it would be hard for you to talk to someone else.
What was it? That means that was intense.
No, it's just that I feel like what I was receiving was a lot in comparison to what you could actually put out there.
I hear what you mean.
So I know that it sounds
yeah, I
like
know
very
you get what you mean
Jewish.
still.
So basically, yeah. So imagine if a girl is calling you every single day
Yeah.
and he's speaking to you for time.
Yeah.
If just think about it, if she's speaking to you for time
that's what it's
and
intense,
she's calling you
yeah,
every single
it's
day,
intense.
do you got to say
So
how
avoid
much
the
more?
other time.
How much more
Yeah.
energy can she be putting in something else? And she's
That's-
got a full-time job.
that's
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's intense.
No, but you know what
That's
it's
what you need to
though? So
But the
balance.
majority of the time, not even through what I'm trying to do, the majority of the time, that's just how things ended up.
Yeah, but I feel that it gets there though, innit? So before it gets there, there could have been someone that
That
listens.
I can't lie to you. That used to turn around for me pretty quick. I feel like
Fair
I'm an
More
alright
time, more
person.
time. I
to-
think if the boy is reciprocating that, I think with more girls,
But
are
it's not about
anyway.
reciprocating it because I wouldn't even be phoning people like that.
No, but I mean, like, if she's phoning you and you're having it, you're accepting the call, you're talking to her for however long every day.
Would you
and you're
not
not
accept
like
the call,
missing
though?
calls and stuff like that?
But would you not accept the call?
No, wait. If you're not missing calls and all that sort of stuff, or like telling her like I'm busy, of course she'll want that anyway. I think that's what they'd want ideally anyway. If they've identified that, okay, cool, this is something that I'd like.
Why you laughing?
Cool, fam.
I'm just remembering that story you told.
Which one?
About the photo that you did with the chat to her.
But that's the thing though. So this is exactly what I'm trying to say. So for example, yeah, at that period of time, yeah, like I wasn't even chatting to anyone else, but you can tell, yeah, I feel like you know quite early on, yeah, if you can see it going the distance with someone else. Like, obviously, you should give things a chance and all the rest of it. I hear that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But in that scenario, for example, yeah, fam, like, bro, I literally met you the day before yesterday. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And you are banging off. You're just banging me out. Like you're like you're belling me off. Like bro. It's like my first day, yeah, at this new. I don't even want to say what institution it is because I'm not even trying to boy no one like that. But fam, like listen. It's the first day that we've arrived in this place. I'm still trying to work out who my friendship group are. Obviously, I know a couple of people that because they come from another institution I've been in, and all the rest of it. And like, you've come up to me and you've given me like a container with squashed cake inside it, like from your birthday the day before. Do you know what I mean? And you've walked up to me while I'm talking to my friends and all that, and like you've given it to me. You haven't given anyone else anything. So the lights are bright, fam. Bright. The lights are bright. So I was just like, bro. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, man, it was so, man. You know how man are like, bro, what? Like, chat to her, yeah? Like, is that you? Yeah? Fam. I was like, oh, brother. And back then, yeah, I was very. I'm a private person now. Back then, yeah, privacy was like 99%. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it was just like, bruv, that was the worst thing. So then she must have called me that day after. She's like, yeah, do you like the cake? All that kind of stuff. I was like, yo, do you know what it is, yeah? I was like, yo, I beg you just like back up off me. Just a tad, man.
Don't come close to me.
I can't lie, she took it bad.
Oh, why would she take it bad, bro?
Of course, man.
Why?
He said,
What
back
do you
up
mean,
off
why?
me like that. Is that how you said it?
The maddest thing is, yeah, you can never win because they told you to be.
you can't
They
win,
told you to be
can't
honest, yeah. As soon as you're honest, nah, you was rude.
You can't.
Why? By saying I'm just.
No,
that's
but
my
it's-
colloquial language.
No,
Do you
but
get what I'm trying to say?
it's honest but honesty
But like,
with compassion. Do you get me?
yeah.
It's honesty with compassion, isn't it?
No, so but me saying I beg you back up off me. The way that I'm saying it
Say,
is
I
even
beg you
me
back
it's me trying to be nice about it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? No, do you get what I'm coming from?
Yeah,
bro?
but
get
she would have probably wanted it as, you know what you did, like when you gave me the cake, it was a bit too much. Is it alright if you could just tone it down?
I said to you, I don't think there's anything I could have said or any
wouldn't
way
have-
I could have said it.
100%. You would have been a villain.
And the thing is as well, yeah, fam, don't get it twisted, yeah. I've been in situations where you do the whole thing, no, do you know, I didn't really like that, you know, let's like just scale that back a bit. But they don't get it.
That is true.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So unless you're like quite
It's
straight.
lose still. But then my thing is, so basically, if you're kind of like, so with you said like you'd want to be talking to one person, yeah, which makes sense because you said that now your interactions have been intense in that you're talking all the time and stuff like that, yeah. If you're kind of like saying that you're not really sure, yeah, you shouldn't be talking to one girl all the time, if you get what I mean. So if she's like, you shouldn't be talking to a girl on the phone every night if there's two girls that you're talking to and you're not sure if one of them is, do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you should now,
So that's my point.
yeah, you need to now like, do you get what I mean? Take it easy. Just put your foot on the brake a bit,
Yeah,
tap the
exactly.
brake a bit. Do you get what I mean? On like both, and you balance it out. Then, for example, when it gets to a point whereby you're sure, that's when you can now tell the other girl, you know what?
But I feel like it's not always, and so part of what I was saying was what we've just spoken about now, and it's us in terms of juggling it and not being able to put our all into the right one and all the rest of it, yeah. But then let's not be dumb and naive. Like we know how it affects them as well.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
fam,
That's
you
you
can
be mad careful.
Do you know what I mean? Because this is the thing,
And
man.
honest.
And this comes down to how you are on dates and stuff like that. Because if you, bro, like, I'll go out on a date, yeah, we'll go Eiffel Tower for our first date.
All right, fam.
Bro, what am I expecting?
Yeah,
What
of
am I
course,
expecting?
Of course.
Am I not expecting her to catch feelings?
Yeah, of course.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
yeah.
So then, for example, yeah, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. But then, let's scale it all the way back, yeah, bro. You go to Pizza Express, you make your own pizzas, but you have an amazing time. Are you expecting this girl not to catch feelings?
Sorry,
I think you need to put like, you need to kind of like, so I think the girl needs to take accountability on her side as well, innit?
Of course,
We have an accountability to kind of like, so in that particular setting, yeah, whereby like you've deliberately toned it down, yeah, because you're not trying to do too much in it. You're not trying to do a certain thing in it. Again, like I said like before, yeah, you know what your heart is in that situation.
See,
yeah?
one thing that you might say is wrong about me is that I don't really do that though. I don't think there's a point of me going somewhere and not being myself. I always,
it's not about being- not
let me
being
jump
yourself.
in there,
It's just
man.
like-
Yeah, just in terms of what you said. Fam, one key thing, and I had this conversation the other day in the group: accountability. Accountability from both sides.
Yeah.
So, man, them be accountable to yourself. Why are you doing that much? You're doing too much. Scale back.
Yeah, relax.
And girls, your feelings are going too fast. Farabalẹ̀, scale back.
Scale back.
Do you get me?
No, but wait.
Have a bit of a control of the way you feel.
Keep on going where you're going, because what I was saying was that if you go to Pizza Express, not Eiffel Tower, you go to Pizza Express, yeah, you make your own pizzas. You're just in. That's like a proper date. You have an amazing time.
Yeah.
Bro. It's not about scale back, because by you going Pizza Express, to a certain degree, you've already scaled back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're just you're naturally allowing yourself to have a good time, and you're vibing off the person
that can happen
naturally.
anyway.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
It can happen anywhere, and that's
Yeah, it
my
doesn't
point.
matter, still.
So it's not about scale back in that circumstance.
That's what I'm saying. That the responsibility is on your side to do that.
But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is that you could do that 10 times and feel no way.
Yeah.
But on the other side of things, they're experiencing, raw, like, this guy's proper cool, like, we bounced off each other, the date was sick. All of a sudden, they are, to a certain degree, rightfully so, they can go from 0 to 10% from that little first date.
Yeah, 10%.
Do you guys
right.
understand?
10% is fine.
10% is right.
Alright, cool. Let me say a high percentage.
That
You're not
suffice.
saying it's alright. But let's say they can go to 0 to 20%.
20% is right. Just
Alright, cool. So cool. They go 0 to 20%. You go on another date. They're now up because you've replicated again. They're now
Within
up
that
from
period of time-
20.
within
They're
that
now
period
up from
of time-
20 to 35%. Yeah, 35%. All right, you go say it again. Go say it again. Anyway, so they're 35%. Yeah, they're 35%. These times there's 3 girls that you're doing this with, so they're all at 35%.
Then you need to scale back. And within so
You are
after
smoking rocks,
wait
man.
after you've had that date, yeah, what's your interaction been like with that person?
yeah,
Talk
that's
to them,
because
innit?
you know it's number one. Yeah, 3 girls. I think is you shouldn't be.
Yeah,
by the way.
two
You
is
should,
fine.
you should be
Two is-
2. Yeah.
Okay,
And-
2 girls on 35%.
Okay, 2, and by the way, it's like so. It's not like okay, we've done date, we haven't spoken, we've done date. It's 35. There's been conversation in between. Do you get me? There's been convo in between. You're talking. You're getting to understand. You're speaking. Do you get me? You're hearing what the other person's saying about. Not necessarily how they feel, but where they see things.
And
You're building up. It's not like
in that piece express that we're talking. I'm saying everything. So all of what I'm saying in terms of like, so okay, cool. Like I'm just trying to know you. All of those sort of things. So when I'm talking about being honest, that is now that first date or whatever is the platform for you to now, fam, just tell her, okay,
But
cool.
this is
where you're
what
at.
I said when I started off. This is why I said let's not be naive, innit? Because
not
you
being
know
naive.
what we
Yeah,
say
that's not-
and what they
that's
hear.
We're not
is-
being naive.
No,
I know, but what can you
we-
do then? So
but
what can
that
you
is
do?
naive though. That it's naive
So wait,
to
what's
say.
naive?
Wait.
So what can you do?
It's naive to say, yeah. It's naive to say that you can say to someone that, right, I'm just trying to get to know you. I don't want to take things too far, and they take your word as yea and amen, even though you've had an amazing date or whatever, and their feelings are boosted like to
that's on
wherever.
their side,
take responsibility.
I
That's
hear
on
it-
their side. Take responsibility
But wait,
for
hear
your
what I'm
feelings.
saying. Hear what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to get at. This is the whole point I'm trying to get
Drop
at.
it.
Bro, we know girls need to be accountable for their own emotions, reactions, feelings, the whole lot. We know this, yeah? We'll talk about it in further detail later, yeah?
Fair enough.
But yeah, but at the same time, you do not go about life. So for example, yeah, I'm not gonna drive in a certain way, yeah, and expect other road users to take accountability of their driving. That's why I can drive anyhow. Does that make sense?
But we're not talking about driving anyhow though. You're driving carefully.
bro.
So sorry. Can I respond to what you're saying?
For example, yeah. I'm just trying to give you an analogy. That analogy wasn't perfect yet, but I'm just trying to give you an analogy where it's like, listen, so you still have to do things within a certain line. You can't go past a red light, yeah, and expect the other car because they saw you, they shouldn't go, even though their light's green. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So if they go and they crash into you, it is your fault.
Yeah, but what
Because you
before-
could have taken precautions.
But before we started this, I've said that we have to take accountability and be intentional about what we're doing. So we're taking. You can take as much precautions as you want.
do you know what it is?
And
No,
whether or
it's-
not they
but
take
You're
it-
just
No,
at a
hold
different
on,
point
hold on.
though. It's
Hold on,
ever
Henry.
so slightly to the side of what I'm saying.
Hold on, Hendy. So what? Because I think what Ima saying and what I'm agreeing with is that he's taking accountability for what he's doing, innit? Do you get me? But I think you're talking about going the extra step of taking accountability, and that extra step is not talking to 2 girls because of the way you think they'll react. Do you get me? And I feel that where the midpoint here, what we're discussing is like they should just take accountability for themselves. Do you know what I mean? But you're saying that, like, fam. You
I'm
know
saying it's
what's
not that
gonna happen.
simple. It's not that simple. It's that what I'm trying to say is that, raw, if you're talking to 2 girls and you're having great time with both of them, they both like you, it's obvious. That's why they're continuing to speak to you. Do you get what I'm trying to say? At what point, yeah, is it like, raw, do you know what? It's not about them taking accountabilities for their actions just because I'm down in the back. And, well, actually, I've actually done enough at this stage for them to actually really like me. Do you get what I'm
But
trying
it's
to say?
enough, fam. It's case by case, though, isn't it? Do you get me? In terms
Of course, and that's why I said everything is subjective. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
And that's what I'm saying. So you have to sort of deal with the cards that you've been dealt. So you see the situation in front of you and you address it accordingly. Do you get me? So if that Q said a girl's coming and she's saying, let's go. They were talking. You've gone Pizza Express. You've made your pizzas together. You've gone behind her now. You've helped her throw the dough in the air. Whatever, something that you find romantic. Fam.
By the way, I wouldn't go on a pizza making thing. That's very much like that's not a level of.
But it's case by case because I know a lot of.
So you go
girls.
cinema.
If you go Pizza Express, we're going Pizza Express to eat pizza, not to do the whole dough making class and that, because that's a certain level of intimacy, I reckon.
But for some people, that's anything else just a crap date. Do you get me? And I hear what you mean. That, bro, I definitely hear what you mean, but they just feel like that's a crap date. That's get out to eat. You get me? So that could be that's very feasible to happen.
That's probably why you got big girls on 7%. They're going out to eat all the time. Nando's, Nando's, Pizza Express, Frankie and Benny's.
You're moving mad still. Like,
you know, sorry, Keys, the complex. Man, just do round the complex.
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Hollywood Bowl. Anyway.
you're moving mad
Then
still.
you got TGI's, man.
That was expensive. Anyway.
No, but the food is better than.
Yeah, true. Frankie and Benny's. But what am I saying? But yeah. Fam, what am I saying now? What am I saying?
But I hear what you lot are saying, and I know what tangent you lot want to go off on about girls need to be accountable for their emotions, their actions, their feelings, all the rest of it. And I get that 100%. I'm just saying that let's not be naive and not act like
I'm
we
not
don't.
being naive at all.
Yeah, at all.
That's why
No,
I said
the
you
whole
have to be
point of what-
intentional.
bro. Like the thing is, yeah,
And it's lose-lose.
if a girl, do you know what it is? Okay, let me put it this way: you just haven't judged the girl right yet, or you don't know enough of the girl to know, bruh. Like you don't know enough of this girl to say that what you've done already isn't enough for her to catch feelings. That's basically what it boils down to.
No, but you know it is, and it's funny because you told me this a while ago as well. Actually, which is jokes is that there's just a line in it with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And all because you feel a way that's above that line, it doesn't mean that
That's
line.
what I've actually done.
You get me? Yeah, it doesn't mean that what I've actually done.
I heard
and
that.
it doesn't mean that line is not real. Do you get me? So you've still gone over and above. Do you understand me? So I hear
Basically,
what you're
you've
saying.
done A, she's feeling B, but you haven't done up to B.
Yeah, you haven't done up to B. Do you get me?
Okay, cool.
And that can happen. But I guess now, that's why it's important to communicate. So if she's communicating that, yo, I'm at B, then you can then read it back in and be like, whoa. Listen, man is still at A. Do you get me?
Yeah,
I'm still
definitely.
here. Do you get
I
me?
guess that's it, innit? You just got to communicate.
gotta-
bare.
yeah, that's
And
obvious transparency.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, I guess.
But I'm just saying, there's man I know, we've all done it ourselves. We've communicated very clearly and efficiently, but they're just like, oh, no, I can change him. Yeah, no,
You know, so funny.
Oh, he doesn't really mean it.
know,
But I like him too much.
It's funny. I'm never believing them again. I'm never believing the girl again. So the girl that happened with, yeah. So like, I felt as if like in my head I was like, oh right, no, like she gets it. She didn't get it. So I'm never doing that again. So I don't believe any like whenever a girl is.
What happened?
So why are you?
Wait, what
I
happened?
don't understand how we've had this conversation.
Wait,
then.
say, hold on.
Because you've just literally confirmed
wait,
what I'm
wait.
talking about.
No,
What's
I agree
happened?
with what you're saying though. But what I'm saying is, but in that situation too, what I did in that situation, which was wrong. Yeah,
Fam,
was-
explain the situation.
that's what I'm
fam.
doing, fam. In that situation, what I did was wrong. Was whereby like, so when she was phoning me,
He was kissing. That's what he was doing. I'm guessing.
Hello, baby.
Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
I've been missing you the whole day.
I'm missing the whole day.
Yeah, in that
Can't wait to
situation,
kiss
yeah,
those lips.
I was like, oh, you that.
Hold you tight.
in that situation,
Get
yeah,
out of here.
I was accepting everything. So you know when you're talking about, for example, like okay, so she'll call me bare.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone. We're talking bare
Yeah.
hours, but I'm accepting it because it's cool, innit? Do you know what I mean? I like we're cool. I like you. I like to talk to you, innit? And that was happening over a long period of time, innit? So it was very intense. So in that specific situation, even though I was communicating things, the whole like my actions in terms of like I was like reciprocating that, innit?
So you was
Wasn't- it
accepting
different
all
from-
of you was accepting the
accepting
intense
it, yeah.
nature
the
that
intense
she was.
nature that she was coming on, and it was different from I guess what I was saying. But even though I was saying things within that
Your
period
actions
of
were
time,
adding up.
yeah, and she was no. So even though I was communicating certain things and saying, you know what, cool. Even though like
That's happening.
that's happened,
I
but
still-
you know I'm
yeah.
still like whatever, innit? She
But
was
then-
like she was acting as if raw.
It's fine.
It's fine, innit? But then, like, there was an instance here when we went out, yeah, and then I realised, yeah, it's long, man. I realised that she was already on
Why
95%.
though? Why?
Something happened, didn't it? We'll speak off air.
What happened?
Speak off air.
Nah, man, tell us what happened.
That one there, we can't. No, we can't discuss that one there still.
Go deep,
Hey,
man.
but
Go deep, man.
do you know what it is? Yeah, do you know what it is? So in that situation, what you're saying is that so you're gonna stop accepting calls, for example.
So now, yes, so I'm gonna be a lot more. So say for example, like,
But
if
this is gonna bring me back to this point.
Wait, but sorry, it's not that stop accepting calls.
I'm
'cause
gonna
we
I'm gonna
make
basically,
it.
yeah,
you
you're
get me?
gonna.
It's not
I'm,
that silly.
I'm gonna be a lot like it's gonna be less intense, very much so from the jump.
How? Give
It's
me
not
a
gonna be
practical
intense at all.
example.
So for example, like, I'm not gonna talk to you all the time. I'm not gonna phone you all the time. I'm not gonna speak to you on the phone all the time. I'm not gonna see you all the time, and I'm deliberately gonna like. I might
Delay
want to
your
talk
blessing.
to you. Yeah, maybe.
I'm deliberately gonna
Maybe.
delay your
Even,
blessing.
fam, no, even the content of your conversations. Do you get me? That one is a big one. If you start talking about relationships, not even necessarily with her, just in general, fam, you're just scaling things forward as well.
But the reason why I was asking that question anyway is because like obviously like if you're dating with the intent to marry, and you unnaturally scale things back then you could potentially.
Yeah, but I
delay
feel
what's
like
supposed to
you're
happen.
firstly, you know how we say dating with the intent to marry. I'm firstly dating to get to know you.
To get to know you.
Do you get me?
Of course.
And then once you know,
So
okay,
once
cool,
I
this
know
is-
you,
this is
now
what
I can decide
now
whether
it's
I'm
like,
dating
cool,
with the
cool.
intent to
This
marry.
is the intention to marry.
Do you get me? Because I feel like that's where a lot of Christians. That's why it's a bit weird sometimes. Like they'll go in and listen.
I don't
This,
think. I don't
hold on,
think,
let me
I don't
finish
think
here.
it's
So
that.
this is everyone to their own, by the way. So
Yeah,
I'm,
100%.
so this is everyone to your own. You judge your own thing accordingly, sort of thing. People get into things and like I remember when I was younger. If you told me that someone started dating in Jan and they got married in September, I'll tell you, yo, I think that thing is fake.
Not gonna last.
Do you get me?
gonna
I
last,
think
yeah.
that it did bang. But now I'm
Now
old enough
you
to
do,
go,
yeah,
I'm
listen,
all fucked up now.
bro, case by case.
Yeah.
God can do what he wants in any situation. Do you get me? He leads how he wants. You understand me? But I feel like sometimes with Christians, fam, when you go in straight away, like, you're just measuring someone up for marriage. It's
But
like, just relax.
I think what you're saying there is based on past experiences that me and you both have shared, like similar experiences. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So just to elaborate, yeah, when I say dating with the intent to marry, what I mean is that anyone you speak to, yeah, you are speaking to this person with the thought that, listen, if at one stage, yeah, I don't see myself marrying this person, I'm out.
yeah.
That's my point. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
definitely.
So, but then what you started talking about just now, which I know because we've had similar experiences, is where someone's actually dating you with the intent to marry from the very off. So you can't even chat to that person, yeah, without letting your intentions be known from the very off. Do you get what I'm trying to say? What are your fam? People are sitting you down and ask you what are your intentions. People are damn near saying that. Listen, if you don't tell me in this first conversation that you're looking to make like an honest woman out of me, then it's long. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that is a mad thing.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's mad because
real stuff.
already you're skipping a lot of stuff that you
lot,
need to
bro.
do. Do you get what I'm trying to
And
say?
for us
I
as
get
well,
that.
when you skip steps and when you try and jump, like you dive right in. For me, it's too much. I
Fam,
don't really like that.
I'm not gonna lie. Listen, what the sort of what Hedney's referring to? Yeah, listen, yeah. When you skip that friendship stage, it's going to come back and bite you.
It will.
When you skip and not even just friendship, but just the building blocks.
Yeah.
If you skip the building blocks and try and jump straight to the top of the house, fam, at one stage or another, it's gonna come back and bite you, fam.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you get
a
me?
hype still.
That's why it's important to just take time.
Yeah.
That if someone says they want to get to know you, get to know them. Obviously,
The
everyone
foundation
has
needs
to be
to be friendship.
responsible. Do you get me? Everyone has to be responsible. Everyone
Yeah.
shouldn't be, like Henry said, that just be doing bare. Then when someone catches feelings or they're at a certain point, be shocked. Do you get me?
Exactly. That's my
Everyone
point.
has to be responsible. Do you
of
understand?
course.
But please, everyone, just
Take
calm
time.
down.
Yeah, just take it easy.
Just test slow.
Just take it easy.
Test slow. Fam, you have to relax.
And that's why I stayed away from it for so long. And even now, my toe is only in it. I haven't put my foot in it. I'm literally
Your
just
foot's in
dabbling.
it, man.
It's not.
Oh, your foot is in it.
foot
man.
is in it.
You
Your whole
stamped,
body's
you
not
stamped in it and you put your
I
foot
stamped
back.
in it.
And then now you stamped in it.
You done somersault backflip times 2, bro, to that.
Fam, you're in it.
I'm not still. But yeah, that's why I stayed away from
What
it
do
for
you mean?
so long.
So if you saw a girl that like you thought was nice tomorrow, you wouldn't chat to her.
Yeah, maybe.
But so what do you mean you're not in?
Like I'm not like fully like indulging.
Okay,
like,
let me put it this way. You saw a girl that you really like, that you thought, oh, nah, she, like,
Sweat.
on first opinion.
That's it. I bet.
Listen, listen, on first impressions, yeah, you thought, alright, cool, sweet one.
yeah,
Would you chat to her?
yeah.
The next day, the same thing happens. Would you chat to her?
And the day after, I see someone else.
Yes.
I don't know. You know. What you think I'm lying?
Why are you gassing, bro?
What am I guessing?
Why are you gassing?
Don't know. Still.
This guy.
Dunno,
And then the next day after that, you see another thing.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Oh, whatever, man. You would. You actually just would. You actually just would. You actually just would. That's why you're winking. Anyway, yeah. You, bruv. Anyway, listen. So the point is, you will end up speaking to 3 babes.
You end up.
And you will end up in McDonald's. Basically, but the whole point is that your foot is in it.
Yeah, your foot.
It's not though.
It's alright though. For your foot
It's
to be
not
in
I know
it.
it's alright. for me to
You're
be in it.
single.
Your foot's in it.
But I know it is.
What it is?
I know it's alright.
I know
for it to
what
be.
you're
Like, I'm not
saying.
like- I'm just
What
saying
you're
that
saying
this
is that
the
you're not
problem.
like
You're
you're
trying
not
to do
fully
that sweet
immersed.
thing.
You're not fully.
You know that sweet thing that oh no, like, I'm being nice, like, oh, like
Shut up, man.
Mr. Nice guy, bro.
I don't speak to
Mr. Nice guy. He bangs
I
it
don't speak to
still.
big girls. No, I'm nice, man. Like.
Mr. Nice guy.
Yeah, whatever.
No, I hear it though, man. You're a nice guy, man.
Yeah. So are you. Good guy, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, but no, I hear what you're saying.
But
though,
this is the
'cause-
problem. This
yeah.
is my dilemma. This is why like I stayed away from it for so long.
Yeah, because
Because
once
it's
you-
just like, oh, like how am I supposed to? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And the first instance was with somebody who was just mad intense, and I didn't
But that's-
really know
that's-
that.
but that's
cool.
what-
Then we have to like.
How you're supposed to do it is to be intentional.
Yeah. I know. No, no,
And that's exactly so. What I'm saying about don't talk to more than one girl at once, yeah, is ideal for someone like you then, because you don't want to give yourself a bad impression. So why would you speak to more than one girl in the first place? Yeah. Also, you're trying to be intentional.
I don't understand.
Because if you're seen as someone that speaks to multiple people, you'll be seen as a player, innit?
Not in that way though.
To be fair, you're always going to
I
be a
feel like
villain.
you lot are.
Yeah, that's what it's lose-lose anyway.
You lot are living on Cartoon
actually
The
Network.
moment you start talking to a girl,
I don't get what's going on, fam.
what do you say?
We're living in Cartoon Network.
Brother,
Looney
if
Tunes,
you
bro.
are seen to be chatting to multiple things, and don't forget, we live in London.
I'm not
Do you get
talking
what
about
I'm saying?
multiple things. There's girl
Every
A, there's girl B.
girl
Girl
is
B
linked.
knows about girl A. Girl A knows
Wait,
about
what
girl
story
B.
was one of you lot telling me about girl A and girl B, that you spoke to girl A, girl B liked you, girl B approached you, and girl A was now feeling away because you spoke to girl B and all the rest of it. And this is your initial conversations. So why are you guys acting like what I'm saying is brand new?
That wasn't that. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it was me. But that wasn't.
Oh, so it was you. So it was you.
I wasn't talking to any. of them.
my friend.
I didn't know any of them
Can
like
you,
that,
say,
buddy.
can you explain? I don't think I broke up.
Explain the situation.
Cool. So it's Cher's birthday, yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's girl A, there's girl B. Yeah.
My birthday?
I've seen girl A. I think, oh, right.
Sweet one.
Girl is nice, isn't
Sweet.
it? And girl B is brethren with girl A, yeah, and they're together. But girl B likes me as well, yeah. And girl A is kind of edging girl B
She's
towards
open.
me, innit?
Okay.
She's edging girl B towards me because
And they're friends.
They're friends, innit?
Wow.
Cool. So me and girl B have a conversation, yeah. Cool conversation, maybe 5 to 7 minutes, just the calm conversation. Okay. Cool. Conversation ends.
Okay.
She now says, "Are you not gonna take my number?" Okay. Yeah, I'll take your number, innit? Do you get what I mean? What am I supposed to say? No. Would you have to? No. Cool. I'll take your number. Then I think like 2-3 days later, maybe she messaged me. Cool. Had a little conversation. Yeah, how you doing? How's your day? Whatever. Cool. Whatever. Because I didn't really. Do you get what I mean? There was nothing there on my side anyway. Cool. Then I think she asked me on Snap. And then yeah, cool. That was a long time ago. Time has passed now, and I see both of them. And this is we're in Afro Nation, innit? And I've seen both of them. I'm like, oh yeah, hello, cool, well gone, da. Girl A is now like giving me the eyes, isn't it? I feel like, what going like?
And that's the one that you originally thought was.
And that's the original one that I originally thought was nice, innit?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I've reciprocated that, innit? I'm like, oh yeah, well gone, da, whatever. And I've taken her number. She's even said get that I should get her number off Share. Cool, you can call it what you want. Do you know what I mean? She's actually getting a number of Share, innit? But the brethren's there, yeah.
Why do you say, wait, give me your damn number, your damn self, right now?
The brethren's there. So she doesn't want to give me the number in front of the brethren.
Oh, so from there, you already knew what you lot was doing was dodgy. What the hell?
Cool. Then I see
Red
her,
flag.
Red flag, we nothing know a red flag when you no see.
I see her the day after, and then she says something like, basically how so I've gone up and said, oh yeah, we're going to do, and she said, girl B's like feeling disrespected and that. I'm like, fam, like for what? Like, what do you mean? Why innit? He's like, oh yeah, like you lot were talking. I was like, fam, talking like when? We had like one conversation.
But
You know
you
what I
had
mean?
girl B.
Me and girl B had
girl
like
B,
one
one
conversation.
conversation. And that was at my
nothing
birthday.
in it. And that was at the birthday on the night. And then she messaged me like I think a couple of days after.
And then nothing
and,
again.
And that was that, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, that's that situation.
See, so anyway, like I was saying,
I said, like I was saying. I hear it though.
from that situation though, do you know what I mean? You've had one conversation, but she liked you before you had that conversation. And you knew this. Because that's why she had a conversation with you. Girl B.
Yeah, but she said, "Are you not going to take my number?"
Because
That's
she
why-
liked you.
Yeah, cool. But then that's why, and I did the responsible thing in that.
Yeah, but
I've known that she's like me.
this situation's a bit
I feel
different
like
from
I'm
what
getting
we're
exhausted trying to explain this.
Yeah, no,
Why?
this situation's a
Why?
bit
It's completely different.
No, yeah, it's different because you weren't talking to them at the same time.
And these are two brethrens. These are two actual brethrens.
Okay.
How can I be talking to
the
girl
fact
A
that you
and
were speaking to them at the
girl
same
B?
time is definitely trumped by the fact that they are brethren.
So yeah, I didn't mention the British.
what the hell are you talking about?
I didn't mention that bit. So
Bro,
I'm just saying that.
listen.
I'm just saying the main thing is that it's different in terms of what we're talking about. In terms of that dating as Christian, in terms
it's
of
completely
girls. You get me? Like it's not like you're doing it at the same time. And it's not that you were interested in both. One liked you didn't like the other. The other one you're like,
So girl A lapped girl B. Basically.
what?
In the race for your signature.
So for my signature, what's wrong
Your
with you?
signature, you're signing.
What's wrong with you?
But nah,
Bro,
man,
that
I
is
guess.
jokes, fam.
Nah, man, fam, it's long though, man. It's long
how so?
because you therefore, I guess, you have a greater call as a Christian, I guess, to be a bit more thoughtful.
Yeah, and do the
in
right
these
thing.
things.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
exactly.
mean? To be thoughtful and make sure that you're not just doing rubbish. Really,
Mm.
I remember, and there was I was speaking to one girl, and from when we first started speaking, I kind of mentioned that at this moment in time, I'm not like looking for a relationship. But that wasn't even. This was before numbers were even exchanged or nothing. We were just chatting, just having conversations, and then later on now we've just started speaking on the phone via Insta first. Then it moved to WhatsApp, and then on the phone. So it was a very natural progression.
Organic.
Or very organic. Do you get me? And then she pulled me up and was like, "Oh, by the way," because although none of us had mentioned feelings really at this point, she was like, "Oh, by the way, when you mentioned time ago, you mentioned about relationships, and that's not where your head's at. Are you still at that point?" And I was like, "Yeah. Basically, I am." So she was like, "Okay, cool."
After how long was that, by the way? Sorry. Because if that was after a year, I can't lie.
A year? Nah.
She was. That's long suffering.
Yeah, that's long suffering still. Nah, this was like 3-4 months. Yeah, 3-4 months. So good time, like fine. And I feel like what she was doing was just making sure, okay, before I get to invested, let me know what he's saying. And I rated that though. And I rated the fact that you just pulled man up and asked me instead
straight
of
up.
You get me going along. And just
not knowing,
or trying to throw hints out there and trying to judge your reaction.
That's good for real. Do you get me? So
she did the right thing.
There's no rules to this thing, man. But you just have to. Calm
So why
down.
aren't you with that girl now?
Why aren't I with her? I feel like
you know when someone repeats the question that you asked.
Yeah.
They're just stalling, trying to find a good reason.
I'm thinking. No, you know what?
Irreconcilable differences.
Not even. This one, I think it's a matter of timing. Do you get me? It's just a matter of timing. And to be honest, it's like we weren't at the stage where we know each other a lot. Do you get me? We're getting to know each other. We knew each other a bit, but we don't know each other a lot. So like at that time it was very early. So there's nothing that I'm gonna say I didn't like, but there was nothing that it was like, yeah, this is it now. But it's because we didn't get to that stage. Do you get me? Didn't get to that stage in which it was deep enough for me to start considering that. And the reason it didn't get to that stage is because, again, just life didn't permit, man. You know, sometimes, like, there's just so much going on in life. Like, your life situations just take over, do you get me? And
do you know what you're doing right now, yeah? You know that thing where, you know Tim Westwood? When Stormzy was on Tim Westwood. Trying to give the most political answer. Is that, you know, like, so, last 3 weeks, yeah? So I was like, yeah. But that's not how it works. Bro, that's what you're doing right now. So.
That is hilarious.
Fam, it's a good question, though. In terms of that,
Yeah, why? So it was timing, basically. Long and short.
Timing, and we didn't get to that stage for me to see everything, for me to make that decision.
So why don't you go back?
Why didn't I go? Because life is still we're still fighting life right now. Do you get me? We're still fighting life right now.
Stormzy again.
Life is my focus. Do you get me? And when the bread grows on the tree will know that it's time to grow apples.
It's funny still. Girls would ask her, why did you even speak to her?
Do you know what he said?
What you say?
So, and when the bread grows on the trees, that's when the trees will know that it's time to grow apples.
Girls would ask, like, why did you even speak to her then if you weren't ready for anything?
Mind their business. That's what I say, bro. Mind your business. Mind your business.
That's a perfect answer still.
In terms of Christian dating, quote unquote, obviously we don't want to call it Christian dating. It's just dating
As a
two
Christian.
Christian people.
Yeah.
Like, so what we're saying is be intentional, but what does that look like?
So again, like, so backscaling, innit? And not being too intense, for example. Like, if you know, for example, like, generally speaking, if you speak to somebody on the phone, it's going to make them feel a certain way. If you take somebody to a certain place and do a certain thing with that person, it's going to make them feel a certain way. Just pulling back a bit.
That's being intentional in terms of your actions and the dates that you go out on. In terms of kind of like goals that you set or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you're doing, as in, like, you can just end up going around and around in circles. All you do is date for like 16 years.
So this is 16 years.
Okay, maybe not 16 years, but you date for like a year or something. And like, but these times at the end of the year, you haven't progressed. So in being intentional, you're still trying to make progress, aren't you?
Yeah. When you see things that, when it gets to a point whereby you know that, okay, cool, this isn't really going anywhere, innit? Just leave. And then figure out.
I know, man. There's gonna be a lot of hurt people out there, you know.
Yeah, but then it's like,
it's life, innit?
You know what my
I mean?
brother said? So with me, fam, I get exactly what you're saying, and your angle is exactly my angle. I've always said that. I don't.
Because that's the
wanna
thing.
break
I don't need to say I'm a nice guy. I feel like by the way I operate, I'm a nice person. I got a nice golden heart.
That's a golden heart.
Do you know what I'm trying to say though? Because I ain't got to say it, but
Yeah.
So you say you might have to say it. WC.
yeah, basically,
You're a donut, man.
basically.
But yeah, so I'm on the whole like, fam, I don't want to break somebody's heart sort of thing, innit? And then my brethren was like, brother, like you're trying to fight the wife, innit? It's not no like popularity contest, basically.
It's true, man.
It's not a popularity contest. You're trying to find somebody. You actually.
Hey,
And when he said
true,
that, it was
bro.
actually
It's
so
actually so
funny.
true.
But I hear it. So if I'm doing all that, if I'm doing what I need to be doing as me, fam, like on your side, innit? Like if you feel this way about, unfortunately, I'm sorry,
But being intentional is not the only thing. Is my point as well. So you be intentional, but there's two sides of that. There's the side where you're not doing too much. You scale things back, depending on which stage you're in. Yeah. But then there's the being intentional, so you're still making progress with that person in that sort of relationship you're in or whatever it is. If you're just dating,
and you're
if
progressing,
talking.
if you're still seeing things that you're liking and that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And
not
you're
necessarily
building
things that you're liking, because obviously you're still being prayerful as well. Because that's a major key in it. But like, so as long as things like you're getting pushed into that right direction and you continue in that direction, as long as you feel like you're being led. Do you know what I mean? But then, all right, cool. But then you also have to set boundaries.
Yeah, you do.
So that's another thing that we haven't said. Do you know what I mean?
Boundaries is so.
But the thing is, I'm glad that we're on that, because in terms of boundaries,
It's better because he's
bruv, the thing is, listen, with boundaries, bruv, I can't lie to you. You setting your own boundaries, without accountability, it is absolutely pointless.
Accountability from like the outside.
So, and this is where it comes down to doing your due diligence on yourself, Because listen, if, for example, you go on a diet, and you say you're not going to eat certain foods for a month, and you're the only one you're accountable to yourself during this diet, and you don't stick to the diet, then you cannot be accountable to yourself when it comes to this. Well, to be fair, subjective, case by case. Do you get what I'm saying? But the whole point is, if that's how you're going to act when it comes to being setting boundaries in a relationship, then you can't be accountable to yourself. You need to be accountable to an external party who's actually going to be asking you, right, like, what's going on, what's happened, so on and so forth.
So so you're saying part of boundaries is accountability. It's having that accountable person.
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel that,
being accountable to yourself, but it's kind of hard being accountable to yourself, to be
and
honest.
I hear that, but obviously that comes at a certain point, like he said, I think. Do you get me? So I feel that, to be fair, having someone that you're accountable to just in life is important.
It's key.
Do you get me? It's just very important. And number two, I feel that when you're talking to someone, there's a certain stage in which, okay, you need to be accountable. You need to be, you need to be accountable to someone.
If you introduce that way too soon, then it makes it a lot too serious when it's like.
And that's another thing that you need to do to calm down, so that you don't raise things too quickly.
Yeah, we'll elevate things a lot quickly. So.
And you're listening to Bibles, Babes, and Banter. But yeah, man. So yeah, basically, have you not been counselled by anyone while you have been chatting to someone?
No, I haven't.
You haven't.
But I think because if I stopped being with somebody at a certain age, innit? So if it was more like around like this age now, then I probably would have. And I haven't been dating anybody seriously like that since then, innit? So I haven't actually been speaking to anybody like that.
Okay. Fair enough.
I have. Have you?
Yeah, I have still. And I guess it was more like it wasn't like continuous. It was more like, it was more, I think we had like a talk with like basically the mentor and just kind of follow-ups, but just individually. So it wasn't like together.
The maddest thing is, like, just being brutally honest, when I first did it, like, I know you have to be open and honest in these situations, innit? But I am still a private person.
Yeah.
So if we get in there, and I know this person more than you, by the way, as well, in this specific scenario.
Yeah.
And you start splurging out all sorts of stuff,
So you're saying you know the mentor more than the girl does?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you start blurting out all sorts of stuff, like... listen, I can potentially just say, listen, just cancel everything here right now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because my thing is, yeah, like I'm a private person, so for me to even get to that stage where I'm opening up and saying everything, it's gonna take a while. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I would not expect you to be doing it on the first time you've met someone, or the second time, or the third time.
Did you have a conversation before that?
Everyone knows I'm a private person. If you've spoken to me before and you haven't found out I'm a private person, we haven't spoken enough.
Yeah, but I guess, you know, I hear that. But I guess the mentoring thing only works properly when you're just transparent. Do you get me?
I hear that, but you have to grow into that as well. But that's the thing. It's subjective, case by case, because everyone's different. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that's the thing. So for me, yeah, with that experience that I took from that first one, it's definitely helped me in successive relationships.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So my thing is that I'm telling everyone to do it, and I believe in it. You need to be accountable because it helps you, sort of thing, in terms of setting those boundaries, sort of vibe. Yeah. But then in terms of actually, no. To be fair, you do need it in every relationship. To be honest, I would. What I was gonna say was that I wouldn't necessarily do it in every single relationship, because once you've got that knowledge, you sort of already know what's going to be said and all the rest of it, but you actually never know until you've actually gone and sat down.
Yeah.
Was he asking like mad stuff? Like what was the process like?
So at one stage he was like, listen, it's like, until you lot have had your real argument, don't even come and talk to me. Wait until you lot don't want to be together anymore, then come back.
What?
That's bare
Fam, I
jokes.
swear to you.
That's bare jokes.
What, you were arguing there?
No.
Oh.
The hell? Fam, I swear to you. If listen, one of the biggest red flags is if you have an argument with me in public. That is one of the biggest red flags. If we've had an argument at home and we go out and you're moving mad towards me and it's visible, that is a massive red flag.
What about you? What sort of things are you asking?
So, you know, it's a thing whereby, because I was talking to him on an individual basis before, do you get me?
Yeah.
And because of like other circumstances, he already knew of the girl.
Yeah.
So before I've mentioned her name, he kind of already knows about her.
Okay.
Do you get me? So I'm talking
How?
about her.
How?
Because so basically
so when I was being let's just be open and honest.
Okay, cool.
Yeah?
Let's be
not
open.
say not say names. And
okay, I won't say it. All right, cool.
so you
cool.
don't need to say my name either. Because he was moving like he was bare pointing at me, moving like he was ready to. You.
So basically. So basically,
we was both accountable to the same person at the same time in our privately as individuals at first, and then going into a relationship, we was both accountable to the same person in our relationships.
Yeah.
And the people we was going into relationships with were friends.
we're friends, basically. So he already knew of the guy I was speaking to already. So he more said, you know what? Do you mind?
Sorry. Just a very quick question. If you're not talking to a girl that you've been seeing for a while, and your brethren has a birthday, do you expect your brethren to invite her to your birthday, to his birthday?
So sorry, let's just make it. So if you had a birthday,
I had a birthday and I invited the girl that you're talking about now to my birthday,
yeah,
would you feel away?
unless you don't have
Knowing that me and you are closer, obviously.
would that nah.
Do you think I should invite her?
You know, well, should you? I don't think you should or shouldn't. It's just if you're not brethren, you should.
Sell it.
No, if you're not brethren, you should.
Sell it.
What? How?
Because
I think if
Iman
you're
bangs
beef-
that
I think-
out.
I think if you're
Oh,
if you're
Iman has. Oh,
Iman will invite all your old friends from secondary school, bruv. To his bloody birthday.
I think if
bruv.
you're beefing, then I definitely weren't in it. But like, if it's like, we're cool, innit?
If we don't talk, is that we're
should've
not
asked-
beefing, but we don't talk?
Bitch, I should have asked, innit?
Okay,
I'm sorry. That's what you're getting at. I'm sorry.
sorry, man. Sorry, man. Look, just a side note.
yeah, cool. But yeah, so he was. So basically, the person we were accountable to, who was a pastor, basically just said, you know what, I want to meet this person. Like, I want to sit down with them. I want to sit down with both of you and speak in it. And I was like, fam, nah, man. So I just told him no. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Just cause like, I don't want to elevate things like that right now. Do you get me? Because we had just come, so we had stopped talking and just started talking again off a very rocky patch. Do you get me? And I was like, I'm not trying to bring it bare up again for it to just tumble. So I was like, nah. So he was like, all right, cool, he left it. So imagine now, me and the girl had linked up like a week later, and I'm sitting down with her talking. And at that exact moment I'm chatting to her, he texts me. He's like, have you asked her? And I'm thinking, fam. So I'm like, you know what? There and then I'm like, look, boom, do you want to go and see? Da-da-da. And she was like, yeah. But I knew she would
Of course.
be down to
That
go.
was gonna elevate it though. It was always gonna elevate
Yeah, it was always going to elevate, of
Yeah,
course.
it was.
Do you get me? But I was like, yeah, let's go, innit? Do you get me?
Because you know what it is, yeah? And this is another thing as well, yeah. So like one of the verses in the Bible talks about not awakening love before it's time.
Good, yeah.
And I can't lie to you, yeah, knowing the demographic or the way these girls think, that is exactly what I'm talking about in terms of if you take a girl out on a nice date that they think is amazing, obviously it's very subjective, it's case by case. For them, that is something that pushes things from 15% to 50%. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That means you're loading marriage.
Yeah.
Because
exactly. That going to go see counselor and that.
it
that's
is
like,
loading
yo,
marriage.
we're
Do
married,
you
we're
get what I'm trying to say?
married.
And that's why it's a thing that you gotta. And you got to do your due diligence. You got to do it at the right time.
100%
You don't
so.
do it for every relationship, and I think that's the point I was trying to get at.
Yeah. And that's what I said. Remember when you're talking about accountability before? I was thinking at a certain stage, that's when all that sort of stuff can start. You don't start that. Oh, I met you now. Do you want to go and see? Fam, you're right.
Yeah,
I'll just
you need to
delete
slow
you.
down on that one.
I'll just delete you if you ask me that.
And it's just dumb because it's like you're not going to take every girl back home to your mum. You have to sift out what's not good for you.
It's true. And
You know
then
what I mean?
100%. So yeah, we went there basically, and he was basically like, you know what? Basically, both of you just be very honest and tell me like where you lot's head is at the moment with what you lot are doing. So I was like, you know, and to think about me, yeah, I'm a very protective person.
Yes.
So I'm the sort of person that I'm never gonna like say this.
Bad
They
things
done
about
me
you.
wrong.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
done
yeah.
me wrong. They done that. I'm not like I'm just. If I got love for you, I'm just bare protective.
I can already know. I feel like we went through the same thing.
So
You just start blurting out bare stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm ready. Like, I'll be turning around and be like, what? This is news to me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? This is news, bruv.
So I was just bare like not vague. I was more honest for my part, but I didn't really
Less
say
on her, yeah.
the stuff that you get me. She had done to get me to make it rocky in it sort of thing, and then she sort of said what she had to say, sort of thing. And basically,
Basically, you're a baby in Christ.
I basically the end of it was like kind of that shit is in your hands. Do you get me? That was the end kind of conclusion. That okay, it's in your hands. Whatever you decide to happen, then that's the direction it's getting in. Do you get me? But it wasn't really intense at that time. To be fair, like he didn't do
Nothing. You didn't do too
anything
much.
mad. He didn't say
Yeah.
counsel. He was just like, yo, like what going? Like, what's the story here? Like, what's happened? Do you get me?
Yeah.
That talk me through when you not met till now. That's really what he was trying to do.
That's because of the way he is as
yeah,
well.
he's
innit?
very
Yeah.
calm. Yeah, very.
So in terms of like finding somebody who you're accountable to, you have to have somewhat of a relationship with them, and they have to
Yeah.
genuinely be interested in you as a person, innit? And like your well-being
And-
going forward.
And
He's
they
like
need
that.
to understand the laws of confidentiality. They need to understand client and whatever it is, privilege, whatever they call it.
yeah.
Privileged information. You can't be accountable to someone and they go and then they are splurting out information that you've given them
Yeah.
to someone else. That is absolutely
Ridiculous.
unacceptable.
Yeah, ridiculous though. Ridiculous
That's
though.
mad still.
But yeah, no, but it's an interesting experience though. It's one
I
that
can imagine.
it's one that I definitely learned.
Because
from
I remember when you told me that like he asked you to bring her, I was like, what?
Yeah, fam.
Like, fam, what? Because I know that if you go there, that's like. So not only is it obviously somebody who's like mentoring, that's like inner circle.
Yeah, inner
You know what I
circle,
mean? That's
yeah,
like bringing
yeah.
a girl to church. Like when you bring a girl to church, well, to our church, 'cause our church is like
Yeah,
it's
it's a
very
big
family.
thing, innit?
Yeah.
It's very family orientated, innit? So when you bring a girl to church, it's like, yo, like this is kind of like the biggest announcement.
That's another thing, fam.
Yeah.
That's another thing,
Oh, yeah, I remember
fam. And basically, yeah, because I brought this girl basically to my church as well, sort of thing. And for me, I guess that's why communication is important. Because if you bring a girl to our church, you're making a statement. Like
You
it's
are,
not a
yeah.
small thing. You don't bring
Yeah.
someone and same for the girls with boys. You don't bring someone who.
But that's the thing.
you
Anyone
just
that
met.
grew up outside of how we grew up
Yeah,
would
yeah,
not understand that.
Yeah.
So for some people, bringing someone to church may just be a minor.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
a small thing, but for us, it's not in it. So I brought her to our church, and I feel like, for me, I felt like I'm doing a big thing here. What do you get me? Because of the way it is, but she didn't see it as that. She just saw it as a very like, I don't know, man. A
Should
very
have done this ages ago.
yeah, like very normal thing. Like, and I'm just thinking, fam, that. Do you know how irritating it was? I was thinking, fam,
Yeah.
I've literally done this thing. Like my church, if you bring someone there, you're
Yeah.
getting questioned for weeks.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
You're getting questions for weeks. It's not lying. Do you get me? But communication is important in this thing, man. And the way that you date, the way that you navigate that landscape here, fam, is there's no rule book for it still.
So what are you saying? So being intentional, yeah,
Yeah,
both
be
ways,
intentional.
both
Mhm.
ways of being intentional. Setting boundaries, but boundaries of accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then what's the last
It's
thing?
being honest part of being intentional. Honesty. Or do you say that's a separate one?
It is separate, to be fair.
Separate, yeah.
Honesty.
Honesty as well. And like transparency. Be transparent.
Be
bro.
transparent,
I remember,
yeah.
so even, sorry, to go back quickly, yeah. So the girl was talking about when it was bare intense, yeah. So we finished, I've said, you know what, it's not that anymore, basically, innit? She was still like phoning me and that. Like. So I had to actually say, you know what?
Fam, do you know what it is? You know when you've just ran a race, yeah? Before you ran the race, you warmed up.
Yeah.
After you ran the race, you warmed down.
But this was.
So it's a warm down.
No, wait. We've been warming down.
Okay.
This isn't just straight away. We've been warming down.
Don't
And I've
get
said,
cramp.
right, you know what? We're not.
Because if you don't warm down, that's how you get cramp.
Yeah, you get cramp and then you get.
Exactly.
It's long. You get injured. It's
Exactly.
long.
And then you're out for time.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. But then, so he was warming down, innit? But it was getting too much, basically.
Fam, sorry, and when you're out for time, it starts affecting every other race that you run.
Exactly. It actually does.
You can't do best.
And then, it's just like people doubt you. Can you even do this anymore?
Okay,
Like, do you know what I mean?
you run the race?
It's long. But yeah, basically.
You doubt
what I'm saying
yourself,
what I'm
actually,
saying
which is
I
even
had
worse.
Fam.
I had to tell her basically, like, stop calling me, basically, innit? And again, like, you know, like, with the honesty thing, yeah, you actually have to say, stop phoning me.
Fam.
Because, like, if you, you can miss calls,
Aye, sorry.
you can not
The
reply to
honesty
messages.
thing, bro, is actually. And one of my boys last year, he told me that in a mad way. In that, imagine, yeah, long story short, a girl is chatting to a girl, and he showed me the convos, by the way. So he's even already done the that calm down thing. That you get me, fam. The girl booked them a day trip to Paris,
Yeah, you see?
or stay the night over in Paris.
You see?
So imagine now, yeah, he's like, fam, now what is this, fam? Do you get me? So she books it now, and he's like, oh, okay, like blah blah blah. Then the next day he was like, yeah,
You have to tell her.
and he was just so blatant with it. He was just like, you know what?
tell her.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't
go,
come with you.
yeah.
It's too much right now. I'm sorry, I just need that. And basically, he was like, don't try and like
Fight.
call me and be like, oh, what's wrong? Like,
Convince me.
look, don't worry, it's fine. He was like, listen, I will cover every cost, every expense on my part. That just show me how much it is. I'll send it to you. But basically, yeah, that's it. But listen, I'm not
She
gonna
better
lie.
have just taken someone else. Like her brethren, her actual friend.
Yeah. I don't know what she ended up doing though. Do you get me?
So you cover cost, yeah?
Some
I'll cover cost, man. It's rough. still.
I can't lie to you.
That's a mad.
A day trip to Paris, man.
You.
It would
I
be
can't
like.
lie to you.
It's a bad story.
You
I'll
begged
do it,
you.
man.
Did I tell you to do
So I
that?
think
I
you
did, I did.
The maddest
Of
thing
course.
is that if you told me, I would probably be like, I'll cover everything.
Fam.
As in, do you get what I'm trying to say? If
Yeah,
I
it
was,
was- it was over
if I was
together thing,
invested, yeah. If you were like, come on, man. Sometimes you can't go out on a limb and just do something mad like
Yeah,
that.
I feel like it's more so to like soften the blow.
I heard that, I heard
Do you
that
get me?
still.
Yeah,
I think it's more
yeah.
so was that soften the blow.
My brother
I
did
heard
that
that.
still, but he went.
But you know,
She did the
it's
surprise thing to Milan. He
it's
went
very
still.
easy to go, bro. It's very easy to go though.
That's how you wake up and there's bare candles around you. Someone's doing backflips.
Alright, fam, we're gonna talk about the judge stories, man. That one, fam.
But yeah, you have to be honest, man. No matter how hard it is, I guess like, you
Yeah,
actually have to.
100.
Do you know how difficult it was for me to say that?
Yeah.
Just because it's like it's bad, man, fam. Like you're cool. Do you know what I mean? I like to talk to you, whatever. But this
I
can't
can't
continue.
lie. I live for moments where I have to say or pass on difficult messages
Why?
because it just shows you if you've grown as a
I
human
hear
being, as
that,
a
I
man.
hear
Do you get
that,
what I'm
I hear
saying?
that. Yeah, that's
'Cause
what
I feel
it is. I think it was you that even said it's the responsible, like quote unquote, like thing to do as a
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
quote unquote, innit?
Because we had a conversation not too long ago where we were speaking about how, do you know what it is? Like in the past, I have been a crap guy to get the other person to dump me because I was really and truly just shook to like be like to them, I'm not even on it anymore.
Yeah.
Because especially after that thing happened so early on in my life, yeah, like where I was like, I beg you back up off me, and took it so wrong, yeah. Bruv, people stopped liking me because of it.
Yeah.
Because he was obviously going around poisoning their minds
Yeah,
about
yeah.
who I was and all that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And like, so like after that, fam, I was always just doing the thing where I'll be nice, then I'll just be crap because I'm not on it anymore.
Fam,
Do you
listen,
get what I'm trying to say?
Listen, you know what's bad as well? Me and my boy had this conversation the other day. He's not even a Christian. But one thing that I feel that a lot of boys do, yeah, is, you know, when they don't like a girl, but it, like, a lot of them haven't got the courage to be like,
Don't have
yo,
to
I
say
just
it.
don't
Yeah,
like you, by
yeah,
the way.
yeah.
I don't like you anymore. Do you get me? I don't like you anymore. I thought it could be something, but I don't
So
think
they'll
so
cheat
anymore.
and they'll
Or
get
they'll do
themselves
something.
They'll let themselves get nabbed.
Or they just start being horrible. Do you get me? To the girl, so that the girl can kind of drop them.
Or they'll ghost them.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But it's like, fam, just like
Let's have the conversation.
Just
just
have
have
the
the convo.
conversation, yeah.
Be the man and say, listen, I don't. And one thing that I feel like I was telling some of my female friends here is that a guy can like you, yeah, or be interested, and then not be interested
anymore. Yeah.
Do you get me? It's allowed. Don't make him a villain because of it. Do you get me? Don't make him a villain because of it. Like, a guy can like you, but not like you enough.
Yeah.
But do you know what's mad though? Like, I always like to think about things in the other foot as well, because if a girl liked you, was giving you her all, and stopped liking you, and is now giving someone that's not your bedroom but not too far away from you her all, you are going to feel like crap.
Yeah, but that all thing's a bit mad though. Why are you giving the person your all like that? Are you going out?
She was giving you her all not too long ago.
Who?
I'm just in
the story,
in the
hypothetical. Oh, I'm about to say, bro.
What's it, who?
To be fair, you need to probably get a girl on there as well, man, to hear their perspective on
definitely have to get a girl on there.
This is
but the thing is though, like, I feel like with these things, yeah, and I'm not even trying to be rude, but you got to get more than one girl, because with mandem, I feel like there's a method to the madness a little bit.
I said to the madness.
Much madness, man.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's a bit of a method to the madness, but when it comes to girls, it's so subjective and it's so case by case.
Yeah, I heard that.
I hear it, man. But sorry, let's to round up. What's our takeaway? So, in terms of Christian honesty, being intentional, and what was it? Andy. Boundaries, yeah, and accountability,
yeah, and being transparent,
which is honesty.
That's honesty, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's key still. Look at us talking about some dating gurus, bro. Listen,
for real.
We're all learning.
Listen, at the end of the day, as Christians, as whoever you are, as civilians, whoever you are, take risks. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I heard that. Take risks.
That's literally it. Because at the end of the day, you can't be umming and ahhing, sizing someone up for like 10 months and then be surprised when they start chatting to someone. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you know what I mean?
See, innit? Try your luck.
Because at the end of the day,
shoot your shot.
You still, to marry someone, you still have to talk to them.
Yeah, of course.
So don't be too afraid to not talk and be like, I don't want to be seen a certain way. I'm talking to this person, that person, and all the rest of it. Obviously, you still got to like rein it in a bit, respect yourself, respect others.
And like Iman said, fam, listen, sometimes, fam, the aim is to find your person. Do you get me?
Yeah, it's not a popularity contest.
It's not a popularity contest. Do you know what I mean? Remember that one? There's not popularity contest.
Obviously, don't throw your net out too far and wide.
Fam, what we do is that when they say go, they will say come back. Go, and then come back.
No, but don't overdo it though.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it.
It's like that.
Do everything within reason, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
do your due diligence.
Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Be diligent.